always heard stories about the old house on Blackwood Lane. People whispered that it had been abandoned for decades, its wooden frame rotting under the weight of time. No one dared to step inside, especially since the Carter family had vanished without a trace. But Ethan didn't believe in ghost stories. He was a skeptic, and to prove it, he accepted his friend's challenge to spend one night inside the house. Armed with a flashlight, a bag of snacks, and a recording device, just in case, Ethan pushed open the creaking door. The air inside was thick, filled with the scent of decay, mold, and something else, something metallic. He stepped forward, his shoes disturbing the thick layer of dust on the floor. The first floor revealed nothing unusual: broken furniture, peeling wallpaper, and shattered windows, just the remnants of a long-forgotten house. But what unsettled him the most was the silence. Even the air seemed too afraid to move. Then he heard it, a faint rustling sound from upstairs. Ethan froze, gripping his flashlight tightly. Probably just an animal, he reassured himself. Taking a deep breath, he climbed the stairs. Each step groaned under his weight. The hallway above was engulfed in darkness, with doors lining both sides. The rustling continued. Following the sound, he reached the last door. Slowly, he pushed it open. Inside, a child's bedroom remained eerily untouched by time. Though the wallpaper had faded, teddy bears still smiled from its surface. A rocking chair sat in the corner, swaying ever so slightly, as if someone had just left it. At the edge of the room stood a crib, its mobile eerily still. Then he saw it. A doll, sitting upright in the crib. Its glassy eyes glinted under his flashlight. Its stitched-on lips formed a frozen smile. But Ethan could swear the smile was widening. His skin crawled. Forcing a chuckle, he muttered, "Well, that's creepy," and took a step back. The doll's head tilted slightly. Ethan's breath caught in his throat. He had seen it move. It wasn't his imagination. He shone his flashlight directly on it, but it remained still again. Maybe he was just seeing things. Then he heard it, a faint, almost pleading whisper. "Leave!" Ethan's heart pounded. His flashlight flickered. His pulse thundered in his ears. He turned toward the door, but it slammed shut on its own. Panicked, he twisted the handle, but it wouldn't budge. Then the laughter began. A soft, childlike giggle, but wrong, distorted. The rocking chair creaked as it began moving on its own. The crib was empty. The doll was gone. Then he felt it. Something brushed against his ankle. Ethan screamed, kicking wildly, but there was nothing there. The giggling turned into whispers, indistinct, unintelligible voices filling the room. His breaths grew ragged, the air pressing down on him. His flashlight died. Complete darkness. Then, utter silence. Ethan was trembling. He fumbled for his phone, the only source of light left. As he turned on the screen, its glow faintly illuminated the room. The doll was right in front of him. This time, its stitched-on smile had split open, revealing rows of yellowed, jagged teeth. Ethan didn't have time to scream. The room began to shake violently. The walls trembled. The floor cracked open, and unseen hands clawed at him, pulling him toward the crib. The whispers turned into wails, agonized, ear-splitting screams. With all his strength, Ethan wrenched himself free and crashed against the door. It flew open, and he tumbled into the pitch-black hallway. Through the darkened foyer, out into the night. He ran until his legs gave out, miles away from the house. The next morning, his friends found him sitting on the sidewalk outside his home. He was pale, shaking, unable to speak. People assumed it was just fear, but Ethan knew better, because no matter how far he ran, no matter where he went, the whispers never stopped. And every night, when the lights went out, the doll was there, waiting,